I've never streamed for multiple platforms, so it's gonna be.
Moment of truth.
I'm doing YouTube, X, and Twitch.
Love it.
That should be working. Let's see. I can see us live everywhere. Usually takes seconds. I think we're on. Morning, Ron.
We must be on if Ron's saying
Yep,
morning.
Ron's here. Like, great to have you, Ron.
What's up, Ron?
Ron, I love the picture of all the minis on the pencils. That looked so good. The detailed ones.
It's funny. We just added it as a sticker in the Discord, so
I love that.
It's gonna be living for a bit. It was a great picture, honestly. I don't know why we haven't done that yet. We also need to send Ron some VeeFriends pencils to make the picture just that much better. But
I agree.
That's
Hey,
for
Dylan.
another day. Morning, Dylan.
Yeah, beautiful. I agree, Ron, that I also like the detailed ones the best, just because they look like the characters. It just kind of gives you that feeling.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I love him. And funny enough, Ross, everybody knows Ross Brown. He opened one out of the machine we have in the office. And he got an unpainted Karma Kiwi, so it's full white. Like that's got to be the rarest mini out there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like I've never seen anybody post something like that. I've seen some people get like a more orange colored lava versus like the pink, which is also cool. But yeah, he pulled a full white one, which is just insane.
I've never seen that. Hi Dom,
yeah.
hi Brofid. Hi MP. Okay, everybody's slowly coming in. We're just going to talk this morning about our favorite comics. We're going to pull them up, read them together. You guys are welcome to throw your favorite characters or your favorite cartoons in the chat, and we'll read them together and kind of just discuss the meaning behind them or what we feel the meaning is for us. Because I feel like when DJ or the artist make them, like DJ has a certain meaning behind them, and I think Gary too. But I feel like when you read a comic, there's always a personal meaning to it, depending on like what situation you're personally in right now or where you are in your life. So I feel like there's always a personal thing that kind of draws you to a certain character or to a certain comic because it kind of does hits with you. Hi, Dad.
For sure. Yeah, I got to pull up my favorites. I got to just. I know I don't know the names of them, but I know exactly. Like it's actually quite. I think it's cool. Like DJ, recently like DJ would start mentioning like a certain comic, or he'll be like, "There was a comic like this." I was like, "Oh yeah, blah blah." Like I memorized it, like because I like to go through all the comics, and it's just super cool, like seeing all of them. And yeah, and now I like remember the names of some of them, which is nerdy, but it's awesome.
And I think it's really helpful too. Last night when I picked out some of my favorites, morning everybody, come on in. That I remember which character is in it. And now I can just go to the character and can look them up by that. Because I don't always remember what the comic was called or like what the date was that came out. But I always remember what one of the characters was. And so that makes it super easy to find them.
It's also easy for me because a lot of them have the dialed in dog. So like it's actually funny how like I think I have like probably like 5 comics that or 4 comics that I love, and it reminds me just like of certain things, and 3 of them are dialed in dog ones.
That's awesome. Okay, for everybody who hasn't checked it out, so on the VeeFriends website, which is VeeFriends.com, you can either way go directly to the comic corner and look through your favorite comics, and they have the name of it and the date. But if you don't remember the name, you can also go to the characters and then just look them up by that. Like I remembered one of the Driven Dragon ones, and any character in that comic. So if there was like 5 characters, it will show up under each character, which is super awesome.
Waiting for a DJ to draw the consistent cougar in the gym. That's a good one. There's a fun way we could do something with that. after the new year that's an idea we could use. Right now, before Anne starts showing her favorite comics, we actually have a bank of comics built out. I of course can't share them all. I wish I honestly like would love to. But one, it would spoil it for you guys, and two, then like we have less people liking the post because they already saw it. But we have a comic ready for Wednesday this week, Friday. We have one for next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. New one every day. The Monday of the 30th, New Year's Day, and then that Friday. All pretty much done. I think there's 2 waiting to be done. So like we have a huge bank built up of awesome comics, all with Chris Faison in Alley. So all newer art. It's awesome. But it sucks at the same time because like people will come up with great ideas that are like someone came up with an idea on the team that was like perfect for, New Year's Day, but it's like crap, we already have one. And that's awesome as well. So it's one of those things that we got to balance now that we have a bank built up. Now we can actually we can play around more and ideate more. I don't know. But this is a
You
great
guys know
comic.
yet how you guys gonna, because right now they're by date.
Yep.
Are they gonna have like still have the date? Are they gonna be ordered by year on the website? Have you guys?
Yeah, there'll probably be like a date cutoff and then it'll go back. On our back end, we have them all numbered, or at least I numbered them. It's not on our back end. I went through and made like a master list of all the comics. I think I was bored and I didn't officially start the comics roll. And I'm like, I'm going to do this because I want to like look at all the comics again. And then it was a good way to just like say like, oh, these characters are in this comic. So I could always just go back to the sheet and just search a certain character. Like if I search consistent cougar, it is not in any. But like I could literally search on the Google Sheets. It's a lot easier to search. But we are currently at the comic we posted yesterday was number 271.
Wow.
Comic strip. So a lot. Community comic suggestion box is just my DMs. My DMs, DJ's DMs. Or if you have my number, text me. That's probably the best. Yeah, because we love ideas. Not all of them are going to be used. And then the second place is the comic streams. Like when DJ's streaming, when I'm on this stream, you could say ideas. When we're doing Comics Jam, that's the best place to share ideas because we actually make it on the spot. But yeah, like we're always open to it. Right now, like the only ideas I guess what we would be implementing are ideas for like 4-panel comics. The actual like books or like longer stories that we're making, like we already have a couple stories like in advance. But there's a lot of cool stuff in the works there.
Does everybody know what Comics Jam is? I think usually on Thursdays, right?
Yeah, Comics Jam. Every Thursday for the most part. Sometimes it'll be like a Friday or a Wednesday. None this week, but Comics Jam is pretty much a spot where me and DJ hang out and whatnot. And maybe in the future some of our other comic artists where we sit, chat with the community and we draw a comic based on the community's ideas. So we'll randomly pick a character, whether that's having community members drop their favorite in the chat and then spinning it on a wheel, opening up a pack, and then the chat picks their favorite character of the pack. However that happens. And then a lot of time we'll decide the plot with the chat while DJ's sketching. And then we just chat comics. He sketches a little bit of it, usually does some of the lining, but that's about it just because it takes so much time to actually make a comic. Usually like anywhere from like 3.5 to 6 hours probably for a 4-panel is the conservative range, but definitely takes some time.
I think it's a great format too because the community can be involved, and I think you talked about it recently on your podcast with Rob, how it makes an impact on you. Like there was an idea that you had that was in the comics, and like even for you who works there, like it means something to you. It was the same. I remember when one of the comics was it looked like Austin was in there.
Yeah,
Green Beans.
the VeeFriends one. It was posted on 13.
And the world to him. Like just moments like that have so much. They might be so small, but they have such an impact on you. And the same was like if you get a cool idea, and all of a sudden now that's in the comic, or you got to pick the character. I think just being a lot of people want to be involved in VeeFriends, and I feel like that's another part you can be involved in, you know, and like a lot of people really like the comics because I feel like when it comes to the comics and the cartoons, it's where the storytelling happens. Like I love the collectibles, but it's like one thing versus like in the cartoons now, or the comics too, it's like now we learn the lessons. All these characters are trying to tell us, you know, like all their like their traits really come out, and I feel like that makes the comics just so much more special to me. Like it's really the storytelling behind it all. Like if it's like the backgrounds of all the characters, of like how they came to be, and it's just getting all that little, like there's little Easter eggs within the different comics. It's like I'm always like looking at like really closely, like what did he put in this time? You know, it's just really fun.
Yeah, I just shared the link to that comic. I had the date wrong. I thought it was the 13th one. That's the one that has who was born in 1997. That the one I just posted is the 12th. So that was a day off. And then Dom asked if there's a search function. There's not really like a search function, but I guess the search function would just be going to all characters, picking the character, and then it'll show all the comics there. And Brofit, I have some exciting news for you. It is in an upcoming comic, not comic strip, but an actual comic story. It's just like a little like cameo almost. But I think DJ showed it on a certain stream. I forget which stream it was. But
just his leg. You just made his day.
Yeah, to go on to what you were saying too, like it actually, like comics have actually helped me find like new, like not favorite characters, but like characters I just love, like Dialed In Dog. Like I always liked Dialed In Dog because it was cute, but like I actually like the character because of some of the comics. There's just some good panels, like Dial In. You know, it literally just says Dial In. One is Dialed In Dog chasing the dream, and I like the saying. I saw like a sign. It was like this sign at like some rooftop event that I was at for an NFT NYC, and it just said "Chase that dream." I was like, "That's great." And then fast forward like a year later, there's a comic of the Dialed In Dog chasing a thing like the words "dream" that have hands and feet running. So, yeah.
Let's go to that one.
I have it pulled up, but actually, yeah, you could just show everybody how to do it.
So you guys just go to if you know what character is in there, you can just go to the website, VeeFriends.com, and then go to your favorite character. It's this one. No.
Just click. It only shows 4, so if you click on one.
Oh, I did not know that.
So it just shows like I think 4 random ones, and then you scroll down and click Dialed In Dog. So it definitely could be a better feature for searching, and you can just click Dialed In Dog at the bottom there, and then that'll show all the Dialed In Dog comics.
I just learned something new. I did not know that.
It's a little clunky, but it could work in progress. So it's the 24th, that one right there. And yeah, so that's a fun one. He's literally just running around. Dog is always dialed in. What's he chasing? That dream. I like that one. It's super simple. It's just a reminder. Like, I think did I make a phone? I think that might have been a Wallpaper Wednesday. Honestly, I can't remember. Yeah, it was. It was a Wallpaper Wednesday. Of that panel. Selfishly, I made it because I wanted it for myself, but it was also a good panel. So win-win. And yeah, Cynical Cat. Cynical Cat's one of the most popular ones, I think, in comics. Everybody loves Cynical Cat. Cynical Cat and Optimistic Otter are like a great duo.
I think just because there's humans are drawn to negativity because like it helped us survive, and I feel like that's why Cynical Cat, and then because it is also there's not a lot of like negative characters within VeeFriends, so like people are more drawn to it, like because we all know it would be all. It doesn't matter how happy or how positive a person you are. We all have those bad days. We all have those moments where that negative thought comes into your head. So I feel like we do need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our life. There was somebody else who had posted something.
Seth mentioned that he wants to check out the Impala. we have a here. I'll show you. I'll show. Oh, is it the Impala? Shoot. I'll show a little sneak peek of one of the comics. I'm like 95% sure it's being posted on the 23rd. Let me see here. It is the Impala. Okay. I'll show one panel of it just to make Seth excited.
Yeah,
This is the panel.
Is that a gingerbread house?
It's a pretty bad one, but yeah. It was the icing wasn't strong enough. But that's just a little sneak peek of it. Here's another. I'll just zoom in on the Impala. Like I love this is from Chris Faison. He's the one who made like the anime style drawings or like stickers that we had.
And I love that there's different comic artists now, because I talked about
so
before,
cool.
there's people just have different art styles, and somebody might not hit with like DJ style, but maybe with Ali's or maybe with Chris's. And I feel like that just helps getting again the characters out to a broader audience. Like we all have our own things. Like that's why we collect different types of art, or like into different things. It's like it's normal. I feel like branching out to that, I feel like is such a smart idea.
Yeah, I think it's like one of my favorite things is seeing the different variations of all the characters, because now, like once Chris Faison like officially draws a comic strip that has Dialed In Dog, now Dialed In Dog has like 5 different variations, because we got series 1, we got series 2, we got DJ's rendition of it, we got Chris Faison's after that, and then we have the cartoon. So like seeing like different variations of characters is like super cool, like different ways people see the character. Like it's just so cool.
Like, and then even you go into the physical piece, like oftentimes the pins will look a little bit different, or now the 5x5 collection, the characters look a little bit different. I feel like it just gives you so much more variation of like what the character can be. It's not this like when I first started out, it was like I got into series 2, so like that was the character for me. And now it can be so much more. And I feel like that helped me to get closer to some of the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan asked a question before. Are there characters DJ has mentioned that are difficult to draw for any reason? He hasn't. If you watch the podcast that what Rob did with Mikey Coloca, he said he doesn't like bold AF Bat because of the circle of the moon. It's just like making it so it has to be a perfect circle, like all that. And then the follow-up question was, any characters that have been drawn that the team decided they needed to rebrand? Not that I'm aware of. I think it's been pretty consistent with, like, like I don't think, like for example, I guess one of the comics, and DJ's shared it on a comics jam, I believe. The Wizard was being drawn, and it's just like an actual comic book that's being made, and not DJ, the artist Kate was working on it, and we realized that the series 1 of the Willful Wizard does not have a left hand or a right hand. Like it's just not there. Like whether it was misdrawn or whatever, it just didn't have a hand. And so at first she drew a hand, and then DJ realized, so we changed that. That's like the only like rebrand, I guess. But no, I mean, there's never really been rebrands. One thing that DJ likes to do specifically is like really like look at the series 1 drawings and make the character that he draws as like similar to the series 1 versus the series 2, to see if there's like any features that are missing.
Yeah. And Dom said the flex and fork is not connected, and
I noticed that. So I will.
It's always good. But see, like that's good. Like when people see those things, to point it out, because everybody can miss something. I mean, you have 250 plus characters. That's a lot.
Quite a bit, but I can find you the corner real quick because he's in a lot of comics. Oh wait, yeah, he's not even. Okay, I see why he's not linked in these few comics that he's in. It looks like. Got it. I'll write that down and I'll fix that. Who said that? I'll message them the link when it's fixed. Dom. Okay.
Dom.
Write that down.
With his new haircut.
What was that?
Dom with his new haircut.
Dom with his new haircut. Cool.
Let's see.
Let's check your.
I mean, there's so many good ones, but I liked this one. And you guys can read through it if you want, just because like sometimes you feel like you don't quite know where you're going, especially if you're in a journey of like, if it's building up a business or being a parent or just like having a personal growth journey. There's just, you go through so many phases where you're not quite sure what you're doing and like what's the next turn you're supposed to do. And you kind of just have to sometimes go on with a little bit of blind faith and just be decisive back and just choose something, not knowing where it leads to. But then when I read through it and then like it changed the world, that was for me like an emotional moment. I like that if you have something you're passionate about or that is really important to you, you just got to keep going. Like you just have that, it's almost like that dream you're chasing with the other dog. Like you just keep going. And even through like the darker days or like the days where you're not quite sure where you're going with this, always having that end goal in mind. I think that was just an emotional thing for me because it was something I was going through in the moment. That's what I said earlier too, is like there's just certain comics that just hit different with you because of what you are going through in the moment.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's a fun comic. When I first saw it, I was like, it almost felt like it was like the way it was posted, it looked like it was like some type of like advertisement almost. Like, are you driven or obsessed? Called. It's not like when I first saw the first panel, that's what I was thinking. And it's just super cool. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. And I
This
think
is great.
it's
I'm
too
glad.
like
I'm glad Anne put this on.
like sometimes you just read the comic for the day and then you kind of forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes they pop back up or like they pop up on a different social for me. Like you guys are reposting like some of the things that I've seen before or like I've seen them make it. And then a couple months later, you guys pop it back up on socials. And it's like, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like I said, this is where the stories and the lessons happen. You know, when you read those comics, it's not just a character or a card I collect. It's putting these characters actually want to teach us into a story that just is relatable. And like some comics, I don't work on those traits because I already have them or they're good for me. So they don't hit as hard. And then there's other traits where I'm like, because I'm struggling with that. And so it gives you perspective again, or it gives you something like I had good conversations with people about certain comics because they're struggling with certain things too. And I feel like it's such a great tool to use even with adults.
Yep.
Like some of them I will read with Emmy if they're like easier ones. But like this one, that would be something I would discuss with a friend because I know what they've been through. I think it's such a great an easy tool to share too. Like I will share them on my socials and like people will like message me after. I was like, man, that one hit hard. And I like I love that through a couple of panels, like a couple of bubbles of text, like you can bring an emotion out or like bring a thought out.
Yeah. There's
Good question.
ongoing storyline. Not currently. It's something I actually said to DJ we should do again because there was a couple. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like sometimes like when we have a new comic release and I know a friend is like going through something or whatever, or it relates to them or even a family member, like I just text it to him like I'll text him in the morning, like morning, here's a good reminder, blah blah blah, like something like that. Like I like to do that. Because they not only do they get to see cute characters, they get to get a nice message in the morning.
Dom just said he liked the ones from June 23rd because it's not colored in.
Yeah.
It's almost like I remember that one. Yeah, where you can kind of finish.
Yeah, this we had at comic, no, not Comic Con, Collecticon, Kansas City. because DJ joined us, and so DJ was doing he was sketching with people. So actually, on the ones that were printed out, the I think a lot of this was empty. Um, but yeah, like a lot more was empty. You had to actually draw on the second panel.
Hmm.
But this is still super cool. You get to finish what the empty elephant's saying, as well as Flex and Fox and Humble Hedgehog.
It's also too like you can print it out yourself and just
Yep.
out in with your kids or like make up your own stories. And I think it's always cool to give something like this to kids and see what they come up with versus you, or like when you have multiple kids too, like they all have different ideas to see like how different people can think sometimes.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, I definitely would love something I want to do at least is like have like coloring pages available um, for people to not only color the comics but like put in text and fill in the blanks. Kind of similar to the right panel in this one, but everything would be lined and you just get the color. Um, that would be fun because then people get to make their own like storylines with the comics.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
I think it's a cool thing too to bring kids into that. Just like teach them a little bit about like how comics work, how to make them,
yeah,
and I think it's a good way for kids to express themselves. Grown-ups too, of course.
yeah, yeah. I mean, comics in general like have been around. Like my dad would when he was a kid would read comics on cereal or in the newspaper, all that. So they've always like they've always been a thing, and we're continuing to try to change that. It's just so cool. Um, let me
And I
send
think
you. Oh, go ahead.
it's too it used to be more in books and like yes, kids still read books, but kids are more online now. And I feel like you guys putting these out in an online version, I think is a really smart idea to get that new generation in there. They are just more online. That's just how it is. Like we can fight it and like be against it, but it is what it is. So I feel like having them on a medium like this on different socials where the kids are on anyways, and like kind of giving them that lesson they can learn through that, I think it's a really smart idea.
Yeah, I am in full agreement, and that's why I'm excited for everything else that's to come because there's longer stories in the works. Um, actually, already being finished this week. Um, that just have that are just as good. They're not as short hidden. They're a little longer, of course, but um, both have a place. Um,
Mhm.
and let me share my screen here. Um, I'll share this one first. This is one of my top comics. I've always liked this one. Um,
Mhm.
it's a good diagram. Determination and patience is how to be unstoppable.
Yep.
Has a little VeeFriends mini detailed cameo. But I've always liked this one. Um, like you won't win being determined and patient. You'll be unstoppable. So it's just like
Mhm.
a good reminder. Like stay determined, keep your patience, stay patient, and you'll be unstoppable. And it's just like a quick message. Um, and then I love like when I see this, that's what I think. How to be unstoppable. Like when I saw this sticker, like even though it has text on it, all I see that character, those characters
Mhm.
like that, and I'm like, that's how to be unstoppable. Um,
Yep.
so it's just like it's such a cool moment because that sticks in my brain. Like I'll see it in my brain, just like be unstoppable, you know. Um, so it's a
Like too, there's not a lot on the comic because the message is so like simple that you have to get it
yep.
in a couple. Like it doesn't always have to be like this elaborate thing because there's the Venn diagram. It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to explain too much in text. It clicks when you see it.
Yeah, 1,000%. So this is definitely has been one of my top since I saw it. I think I saw it it was posted the 25th. I don't think I actually saw it until VCon somehow. Like I don't know how, but maybe I just wasn't on socials enough. Um, this is another one that I really like. It just looked super cool, first of all, but I really liked this opening panel. Um, the bottom part really got to stay on target. Um,
Mhm.
My target system is boned, but I'm going in anyways. Stay on target. And that's just a good quick story with cynical cats, little ship. It's just cool. And it was
I love
all
the
dreamed up.
reference to like Star Wars a little bit. Like I
Yeah,
see like you can't help but like can see that in there, bringing
yeah.
people in from different like universes
Hmm.
into like the IP and kind of making it easier for them to like make the move over.
Yeah. And this is my last one. Now, all of these have Dial and Dog besides that first one, I guess. Um, but this is just a great one too. It's just talking about being dialed in, um, even during the storms. Like all storms are temporary. Dial in, adapt and conquer.
Hmm.
Just a powerful, quick message. Like you gotta just adapt and conquer. Like storms will pass. Um, Stay dialed in, focus on your path, and you'll get through the storms.
Yeah, it's almost like
So
not getting distracted by all of the outside things that can happen. Then
yep,
the things like you can't do anything about the storm. Like you could sit there and be upset about it, or you like it will come, it will go away, nothing I can do about. I'm just gonna do my thing. Like that's kind of what I see when I see that there's so many things around you that politics or the weather or what your neighbors do and that you just can't influence. You just have to kind of focus on yourself in those moments.
100%. Yeah. So when it's kind of weird how every like when I first saw all these comments, I'm like, these are amazing. Like I immediately screenshotted or probably screenshotted. Yeah, probably like I think I just immediately screenshotted them off Instagram. I was like, these are my favorites.
Yep.
But there's a lot of like there's so many others that have just like a great message. Oops, yeah, I meant to zoom in. I want to go back to 100% and then unshare. There we go. Yeah, there's just so many cool comics. Did you have any other favorite comics? I know you had the one that you showed. And
I
does
mean,
anybody in the
oftentimes
chat
like
have ones off the top of his
yeah,
head?
that was in the chat too. I had one of the gorilla ones. Um,
Oh yeah, the origins. I
the original
completely forgot. I completely
the
forgot
original
the
story
origin story.
of Roger
Yeah,
Gorilla. Um, and the gist of it is that he is a very positive, grateful person, and his family is not. And he's teaching his family how to be grateful, and it's like through short, small little things like the gratitude jar.
yep,
Um, I like this one not just because of like one of my favorite characters, but also I think about this is him as a kid. And if a kid reads this, just the message of you have that power. It doesn't matter if you don't have to wait until to be a grown up to change something. Like you can make a change within your family. You can make a change within your environment. I think that was for me as a parent and as a teacher, like such a powerful message that a kid reading that and seeing that I can change something now if I want to. Like I can tell them like what I feel or like how to be positive and that and it's a little bit also like the story of like what Gary always talks about that seeing kind of who you surround yourself with. He did
yeah,
the choice of like changing the people around him or trying to show them, and sometimes you can't, and then you have to like move on from them a little bit.
yeah. I'm
I like
trying to
that too.
think. There's oh, what did he say? Like, yeah, I think that might make a resurgence in the new year. I hope it does because it was definitely a fun. It's just fun to see 5 comics, 6 comics, 7 comics of the same character in a row because there's just so much lore you learn. Um, right now, we're not doing 5 comics a day. We're only doing or a week. We're only doing 3. Um, but hopefully we can ramp that up. That's another good one right there with the button.
This one and this one, like both of them,
Both, yeah,
I really like. They're just so like we have said, yeah, like the starting of something is such a big thing because we always feel like something could go wrong,
yeah.
and I do like that it does go wrong. But it's not just
Hmm.
like everything is happy ending, and if you just try, everything will work out. And then it won't. And that's okay. That's part of it. Like, but it's worth to not try. like just like not knowing what would have happened, I feel like is worth than something negative happen and then just dealing with it. So like
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated that something negative did happen. It's just how life is. Not everything is going to work out, but you just gotta have to try.
Yeah, it's funny when I was reading this, I was sliding through it, and I literally laughed out loud when when I went to the last panel. It's like trapdoor. I knew it. I was like, I literally had like a laugh out. Like I literally just like, that's what I literally did that. I don't even know where I was. It was just hilarious. I was just like, this is great.
Also
And then
like
the
this
challenge
changing
brings a
moment, like
change.
because you think what's going to happen and then it completely turns on you, which I feel like
Yeah,
just draws you in and like wants you to even read it more.
exactly. And
I
then
think
it
the thing
says the
is,
challenge brings a change at the bottom too. Great.
mhm,
When was this what's the date on this comic?
that one was
It wasn't terribly long ago, I don't think.
October
October.
23rd,
Yeah, I think the cartoon was out by then, right?
right?
No,
Yeah.
September, October. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
out. And I think there was one comic that's. Oh no, there was a Dialed and Dog comic that had like a little teaser of what you'll see in the comic or in the cartoon that's been revealed. It's Dialed and Dog and Epi, and Dialed and Dog had like a mood necklace and gave one
I
to
remember that
Epi.
one.
So that I didn't realize. Like I put two and two together after I was watching the cartoons, and I went back to the comics. I was like, wait a second, I've seen this before, and it made so much sense. So that's 100%. I haven't asked DJ, but like that's 100% where it came from.
Yeah.
Which is just cool. It's like a fun little Easter egg, and that's not me saying look into every single comic like that because like most comics do not have something like that. But yeah,
I think too, like the fun thing about like looking back at some of these comics, like I said, like some comics that might have not hit for me the first time around
yep,
now do because I see something different in it because like maybe some situation has changed for me. That's why I like going back and looking at some of them or even just like scrolling through like the social page and just like, oh, I totally forgot about that one. And again, like there's so many lessons in it. Like it's the same with this one from Fearless Fairy. Again, it's like super simple, just a couple of words in it. And that sometimes you just don't know where to go because everything feels like there's all these fears and doubts and all these things. So nothing feels right. And then you kind of just have to change your perspective that
yep,
you can see everything is like something, like, it's always going to turn out negative, or you can see everything as an opportunity. And
yep.
again, some of them might be a trap door, but
Hmm.
it's still better to try than being just stuck there. Just like that feeling of her of like not moving, just standing still in life is worse than making a wrong decision. At least in my book.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one actually performed very well too, which makes sense. It just had a really good message, like you just explained it very well. Um, and then the one I just shared in the chat, or yeah, I think I shared it. That's actually I woke up, was reading the comic, and I noticed there was a little Easter egg on it. The box of donuts says "Course
Oh my
O's."
god,
Like I didn't know it was happening until it was out. Like I didn't even know that was a thing.
I love that. I
And of
love
course,
those
it's
Easter eggs.
Barnum and Bob with a eighth place medal.
It's the
Hey,
same
got a
with
box of courses.
where was it?
The
I, I think it's the Countable Ant
yeah, the eighth
one.
place trophies one. It was
Yeah,
a
where
Sunday
like all
Sunday
the
Timer.
trophies have like different names on it.
Yeah, a bunch of different team members' names, which
I
was
can't buy
also
those
cool when I
donuts.
first saw it. I saw it before it came out. I was looking at it. I was like, wait a second, it says my name on it. And I saw Rips. I saw Connor.
I know
A bunch
there's,
of
I
different team
want to say
members.
it's the Astral one where they're going over the town and there is a little Rips's
Rips'
cards or
card stock.
something with
Yeah,
like a little
Rips'
ribs in
card.
it. It's like
Yeah.
little, or like one of the recent ones had the Harpic in the window. Like I instantly saw that because of one of my favorite characters. I think it was one that either way Chris or Ellie did. I think it was.
Chris. Or no, wait. the which one are you referring to? Sorry, I got
One of
distracted.
the recent ones had a
You're
window
talking
in the
about
background.
with the heart pick in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the Harpic
Chris.
was just in the background, like behind a window somewhere.
It's actually funny too because DJ didn't realize that at first. Like he didn't even recognize it, that it was just chilling there. And of course, the ambitious angels on the tree. I'm sure people noticed that, but the
And
heart
see,
pick was
like I
hidden.
did not recognize the ambitious angel, but I see the Harpic because the Harpic is one of my characters. So I feel like
Yeah,
different people will like see different things because of you see what you're looking at, or what you're looking for. Yeah, like the different Sam and Andy got one.
Jeremy, Alex, Tyler, Liam.
I like the Gary
I
got a
think
5.
and May got a third place. I
That's
think that's
good.
May. Yeah, I got an eighth place.
Bare minimum Bob got last place.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think that Liam, thanks for trying.
Yeah, thanks for trying. Not, not even a place on it. But yeah, there's a lot of fun comics like that that just have um, different little Easter eggs. None are like alpha like at all for the most part.
Mhm.
But it's just more of like fun little like if you see it, you see it, and if you know, you know. So yeah, like the Corso's Donuts one was hilarious. Like I literally saw him like, wow, that's hilarious. There's one with there's a couple that have like a Rip's dad joke in it, which you would have to either be told that or have been in the meeting when Rip said the
Mhm.
joke. So just like fun different stories about all of them. And then yeah, I selfishly want Black Cat to be hidden in more comics. Because it was fun. I wanted it to be hidden. I had a Christmas idea for a comic. We ended up doing something else, but in the comic, one of the panels it would have a Christmas tree, and I wanted like the black cat to be like with glowing eyes, just like peeking out of like a side of it, just like a fun little like you got to spot it in order to know
Yeah.
it's there. It's like a fun, you know. That's why I wish I could draw because I would love to just like hide little things like that. Like it would of course take more time, but it would just be funny. Like I don't know.
I think it just adds another level to things too. Of like you have the people who just like every now and then read one of the comics, and then you have people who are really into it and read them every day, and just like having those little things like
Yep.
Corso's donuts list hidden in it, where you almost look for it, like because you have different levels of involvement of people, but like keeping everybody involved in it, no matter if it's just a quick read or somebody who like, okay, I'm gonna see if there's some alpha in it. Like Toggy is somebody who will like look through every different panel and was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna find the alpha in here. Like I'm gonna find like they put something in here.
Yeah.
8, 12.
Yeah, that's the one with green beans with Austin. Funny story. V kind of politely asked Father Rips if his name was Rips or he changed it. Because I was like, yes, here's my driver's license. Yeah, he's his parents are great.
Yeah, they're amazing. And definitely Rips and his dad, same humor.
Hmm.
Like you know where he got it from.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah,
We
and
all felt that.
this comic was
We
cool
felt
too
that.
because um, this was like it brought back Gratitude Garden, which was like a
Hmm.
comic that was made in like February. It was
Yeah,
a Sunday comic, so it was cool to see it come back.
I love this one.
But yeah, I wasn't involved in the process of making this one, but it definitely is Austin. Like there's no
Yeah,
doubt about it. Especially with the pink bucket hat. I think he wore one of the days. So I think that was super cool.
okay, I just talked about Sogi and then it showed up in the chat. That's not coincidence.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. We were just talking about all the alpha hidden in all the comics dating back to January last year, Soggy. So
Yeah,
you got some catching up to do.
there's probably some spreadsheets about them. Let's face it.
Yep. I'm expecting to see some spreadsheets from you, Soggy, with all the alpha. Fun fact too, there are, let me recount now. There are, let's see how many hidden black cats there are. I have all those noted down.
Really?
There are 24 hidden black cats in comics. There is one. The
Who
black
can
cat
find
made
them
its,
first?
yeah, the black cat made its first actual appearance in a comic on Friday the 13th.
Makes sense.
And we'll make another appearance soon, actually, but not like lore or anything. Nothing substantial.
I still like having like little characters in the background. It's just like you always feel
Oh,
like
you're gonna love the New Year's one.
Just like, is it just like just because I want to put it in? Is there a message behind it? There's always like a little bit. What is it trying to tell me?
The New Year's comic is gonna have the most characters any comic has had, at least doubled or tripled, whichever comic has the most. It's super cool. It's still being made, so I haven't even seen the final product or the final draft of it. But
I like that.
yeah, it's a cool comic. Allie came up with the idea of that one, and we're like, yeah, do that. And then I think she's realized how much work it's going to be, but she's enjoying it.
So Soggy's gonna find all the cats tomorrow.
Soggy, good luck. Hopefully none are missing from the comics corner. I don't think they are.
That would be cool. But yeah, I would like for everybody to go through the comics today and just pick out your favorite and post it, because you can actually go under it. You can just click share, and usually it will just post to X. Just to see, for other people to see it more often. Maybe write to like why it's your favorite. Like if is it the message? Is it the character in there? Is it what hit for you in that comic? So I would love if people would share their favorite comics. So just first of all, it's a reminder for others. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And I think it's good to share those lessons. I think that's why we love VeeFriends. It's learning about these traits and these characters and like what they're trying to tell us and teach us. And I feel like the comics do such a fantastic job with that. So I feel like if you guys share your favorites and like what it means to you and why, I feel like it can really help somebody else just think about it in that moment. Like, what is special about this, or like, what does it hit for me?
For sure. Yeah, there's definitely. I recommend anyone, like, whenever you see a nice comic that you enjoy, whether it's VeeFriends or not, share it. Like, I'm sure someone will need the message or appreciate the message. And then of course, like if it's a VeeFriends comic, we'll appreciate it because it's a VeeFriends comic. But it is cool seeing people share, like reshare comics on their story, because it means a lot to them, or they just think it looks super cool. Like I try to do that as much as I can. I try not to post too many because it feels like I'm just doing it because it's VeeFriends, but a lot of them are just great. Like have a good meaning to it, or I think someone will relate to it, so I post it anyways. So yeah, I think it's great. And then Soggy, no, there's only 24 black cats, so you won't be stuck at 25. You'll be stuck at 23 when I remove one. Dom found a black cat, a hidden black cat. Well done. 23 more to go. But yeah, that's the fun thing I like. I like finding those little Easter eggs that aren't really like I said, they're not really alpha. It's just like a little Easter egg. Soggy said, "What does the F key the lemur is holding unlock?" And he's referring to the sketch card that DJ was making, and that I'll have to wait and see, I guess.
And I was trying to like look through, like there's kind of a theme through the sketch cards. Like there was a map, and like when they were in the boat, it was kind of like a pirate thing. So like I feel like there's a theme going on there.
Yeah, I mean there's a little theme. It's funny because the key kind of looks like a fearless fairy. Like I don't have any context on the lore story behind any of the sketch cards per se. Like I know what they're for, but I don't understand like the story of it, and or like why DJ chose to draw one certain ways. But like the lemur one's definitely super cool. But I'm curious on if the key was made in F just to relate back to Fearless Fairy, or there's more behind it. I generally don't know. Which would be cool to find out eventually. I have a fun idea actually for the few people that are here. We can do a giveaway. So whoever finds and links me all 20, or just tells me the date of all the comics that have a hidden black cat, 24 total, you'll win a free Character Comfort Collection shirt. Maybe it'll be the black cat shirt. I'll have to get that allowed, but we can do that for the few people watching. A fun little task. You can just DM me on X.
I like that idea. Also, if you're not shopping, here are all the different socials. You should definitely follow the comics. It's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, whatnot for Thursdays. And I think you also guys started on YouTube more animating the different comics, which I feel like is a really cool idea too. I saw some of it on, I think, Instagram itself too, where the comics kind of like the characters come in, or like all of a sudden like that text will start like flowing in. I like that idea too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the comics, animations, and dubs. We're starting to post the what's it called? Like the process videos, because a lot of the comics DJ made, I think at least from June on, he recorded, like he saved and uploaded every single process video, and then our new comics, our comic artists that are new to our comic strips have been doing it as well. So like the goal is for now is to, whenever we have a new comic posted later that day, we'll post the process video. This way they can easily just like find the actual finished comic. Like it'll be cool.
I like that. I think you guys just did it with the one for the three bunnies, like the bad intentions, stuff over here, and radical rabbit.
Yep.
That was like
yeah, the second panel I'm gonna make into a phone background. By the way, if we ever post comics throughout a week and you guys want it to be a phone background, like DM me, and if I think it's good enough, I'll make it for you. Because I'm always trying to think of ideas on them. Usually I have enough, but I realized, and this is the first time I've shared it. I haven't even shared it with the team yet, but I noticed our stories for the Wallpaper Wednesday last week, like were our highest viewed things, besides the cloud post we did with VeeFriends, and majority of it was non-followers, which I thought was super interesting. Like here's the Wallpaper Wednesday just beginning thing in the insights here. 16% were followers and 84% wasn't. 787. So like I didn't even recognize the views, and maybe it didn't show on the back end for me, but like I was like, sweet. And then the this was December 11th. Yeah, so this was the last Wallpaper Wednesday. So yeah. So that's cool. So I definitely want to double down on the backgrounds. Soggy, both. If it's an outline of the black cat and it's very obvious that it's a black cat, that's one. So sometimes it'll actually be like the black cat face. Sometimes it'll just be an outline. Both. But that's a hidden black cat. But yeah, whoever sends it to me first gets
he's already on it.
Yeah.
He's like calling into work. I'm sorry, I can't come to work today. I'm sick today.
You said it from the bottom. He's like, all right, we're not stopping until we find them all. Which I think it's so fun. Like it was fun for me to do. Like when I was making that master sheet that I was talking about before I even started the comics position, like I was having so much fun. Like I was literally looking for an extra minute on every comic just to make sure like there was no outline of a black cat and everything. So maybe I missed one. I'm 99% sure there's 24. So And then there's the 25th, of course, is the one that actually features the Black Cat.
Mhm.
But I don't include that. And then there will be one on Christmas. Alpha. It's not Alpha. It's just a fun addition. I showed the roughs on the Comics Jam, but I'll show the roughs again for a quick glance for everybody who's watching this.
Oh, I like that.
Can't show anymore, but it's cool. I'm excited just for what we already have in the bank. Chris Face, shout out to DJ, of course. We love him. Shout out to Chris Faison and Ali Castro. They've been just killing it with these these daily strips. And then Kate Comics, she just uploaded like the final of the comic that she was working on, and it looks fucking amazing, and the story's great. So there's a lot of just fun stuff in the works that like I could talk about it for ages if I was allowed to. Like there's just so many cool things that some of it's not even being worked on. So and I'll show one more thing too, and then I probably have to go. I think I have a 10 o'clock, but let me see. I made my phone background really right after I found it, and it'll probably be a comic wallpaper Wednesday at some point. But this is a panel from one of the comics that Chris Faison's working on.
I love the coloring.
Mystery Mountain in the background, the hot air balloon scene. This is the one that Chris Faison's working on. So it's just so cool, so colorful. Yeah.
It's like we said, like that there's different art but hit with different people. Like if it's a coloring or like Dom remembered like one that wasn't colored in because he instantly thought about like his kids being able to color it in. That's like that just makes it so exciting that there are so many different art styles and like different avenues you can take it. Like it leaves it open to so many things you can do with it, which is great. I feel like.
Yeah, the best part is there's so many different variations of characters, and there's a really cool one coming for I think your favorite character. So
I'm excited. There's just like it's so fun, and I feel like it's still underrated. I feel like the comics are still underrated. They're not talked about as much as the collectibles or the NFTs, which I get. Like that's how people got in, and you can do more with it versus a comic you read and then kind of move on. But I feel like you can learn so much from these comics, which I feel like that's really what VeeFriends is about for me. Like learning about the traits and about the lessons that just makes us better people. So I feel like it's still underrated.
Yeah, me and DJ, 1,000% agree. We got work to do. That's all. So thank you for having me. This was awesome. I appreciate you hosting these.
Thanks for coming on.
I will be joining Friday for those who don't know. What time are you doing it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, same time, 6 a.m. Eastern time. Thursday is a maybe, depending on what you guys are doing. And then Friday again, same at 6.
Yeah, you can have Thursday on, and I might be able to join that one. I'll update you.
Sounds good.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you for hosting again. Thank you everybody for watching.
Thanks for everybody coming in. We'll talk about webtoons this week. We will talk about who's part of the team. We will talk about the physical products this week to just bring in more light to the comics who are highly underrated. And don't forget to share your favorite comics.
Share your favorite comics. Read more comics.
Yes.
And follow the VeeFriends Comics Instagram if you haven't.
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks for being here, everyone.
Take care.
Hey, everyone. I wish everyone a wonderful day. Have the best time. Read comics. Learn the lessons. Share them with your kids. Share them with your friends. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, which is my time. I'm mixing up times all the time. But thanks for tuning in. It was a lot of fun. Thank you also for coming on, and you will be on Friday. Tomorrow will just be me. And Thursday, the plan is to go live on Whatnot, like they usually do, and we do some giveaways there. We will talk about the team and who's on it, what they do, their roles, and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was supposed to be half an hour. It turned into an hour. Because it's always fun things to talk about. Share your favorite comics, and I see you guys on our socials. Have a wonderful day.